Hello and welcome back to our next tutorial. Now in this tutorial we're going to go through looking at the Apple navigation bar and different colours and themes and schemes and different things like that. It's also good to notice that this bottom section just here, shop online and get free contactless delivery, is that a section within the header. Now the way we can find that out is by clicking onto Mac. Okay. And we found out that it isn't. However, we have found out that this colour here, this grey, is different to this white. And we've also found out that when you click on Mac, the same grey still appears. And you've still got the white here. So you need to look at these different colour themes and try and work out how they're working around. Now, just going to go into an application that I've just downloaded. I've never used this one before, but it's called Colour Slurp, apparently. And you can go in here and you can add a colour. Now, I've made a collection. And in this collection, I'm just going to click the eyedropper tool. Okay, yeah. Apparently I need to enable some type of things. There we go. Later. Done. Click there. Yep, I've done all of that. Can I click this now? Yes, I can. Okay, so now I've got a little colour picker, you see, and I can go in and I can see what colours they're using. So as you can see on the, I'll circle it, but as you can see on the hex colour code, that's called a hex colour code. You've got F5, I can't say it. F5, F5, F7. Now that number there, if it was all F, if it was 6 Fs, then you would just have pure white, which is what this section is here. But as we scroll down, you can see there's a little bit of a gradient into a FB, FD. So, okay, so from the nav bar then, we're going to look, and also the Apple logo is a different colour as well. So let's click the nav bar, and that's just all one consistent colour. So we're going to click that there, and we're going to call it nav bar. Okay, and then we're going to add another new colour, and click the eyedropper tool. And is the text the same? So let's have a look at this text. It's all a bit all over really, but I think we're just going to have the Apple logo's colour. So Apple logo, and then in here we can also put type, as in like for the text is what we're going to use for the text as well. What else do we need? Well, we may as well grab our colours for a little bit later on as well. So we do have another white, so that's like a subheading type of white. I'm going to save that there. Another new colour. What else have we got? We've got the blues. So how can we get a decent blue colour? We could quite possibly zoom in. So if we zoom into the text, that's a little bit bigger here. Then we can go to our colour picker. Oh dear. There we go. Let's get our colour picker just there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to click this blue. There we go. Let's go with that. Science blue is what it's called. So link blue. All right. Okie dokie then. We've also got a bit of a grey there as well, but we can judge on that. We've also got a black. So if we wanted to go with a black, then our hex colour code would be 000 or 6 zeros. Perfect. All right. Well, let me zoom out a little bit, and we're on the home straight now. So as you noticed as well, when we scroll, the website, the navbar does have a little bit of a it goes darker and then it goes, so it's basically just a perfect grey type of colour. So now we've done that, we're going to go into our website. Now all of this is going to become blank. So I'm going to show you step by step in the dashboard how to set it all up correctly. So in here we've got home, and we can click in edit with Elementor, or we can go to Elementor template theme builder, and then add a header first, as I just said. However, firstly, I'm just thinking what we need to do. We need to go into settings, and then I think it's in discussion or reading. It's in one of them. We need to set our home page. Rather than because WordPress was originally made for blogs, but for us what we're going to do is we're going to make it so our homepage is the main static homepage. So how I did that was settings, reading, a static page, click home, and then press save. Always save your work. And then from there, then we're going to go to templates, theme builder, which is in the Elementor. And then I've already made a navbar here. So I'm going to go in with edit with Elementor. Now, as you can see, we've got a little bit of text here and a bit of the content area. Now we can change that. We can go into settings in the bottom left-hand corner. Is it the bottom left-hand corner or the top one? It's probably the top one. So anywhere where you are on the page in the top, go to site settings, and you should be able to change. Where are we? Additional settings. Okay, maybe not. I'm talking like I know what I'm doing, but it's somewhere around here because I do know that some of the pages are a bit. Maybe I was in the right place. Preview, maybe not. Maybe not for a navbar, but for a page there is. We might come across it a little bit later on when we have a look at our navbar in one of the pages. But for the time being, then let's just leave as it is. Let's leave it as it is. So in here we need to add a section. Remember in the first overview I was talking about sections. So we're going to make a section. So we're going to click this little button here. This is saying select your structure, so we can just click a big wide one. And in Apple it's pretty convenient that you can press Command Shift 4 and grab a quick screenshot. But instead of doing that, what I'm going to do, I'll show you on a bit of white, is I've got some numbers where my cursor is. I can just click and drag and it shows me up and down or left and right. So it shows me the Y and the x-axis, so I can see how big that navbar actually is. So we're going to go, I think it's around 48 from what I can see on there. So we're looking at about 45. So if I go into here and then select height and go min height and then say 45, that's going to set my navbar to 45 because that is the height of the navbar. Now the minimum height is going to be the min height. If you wanted to select a max height, then you can select that from advanced, and then you need to go into custom CSS if you know a little bit about that. However, we're going to go to style, and then for the background we need to select a background colour. Now we didn't add our colour, so I need to bring up my colour picker again and find what the colour was, which it was this hex code just there. So I'm going to right click, and then in here in the colour I can then paste this into there, and then I can add it as a global colour, and I could call it, for example, navbar and then grey. Save that, and then we've got some selections here for a nav menu. So if I just drag the nav menu in, you can see that we've got our nav menu. Now they've got quite a thin font. Now I've not really talked about fonts, but because we're using Elementor and they're quite convenient, what we can do is in the Style tab, we can choose lots of different Google fonts. So on the drop down menu, you've got lots of different fonts. Now we could try Railway, or we could try, for example, Lato, which Lato is quite a nice font. Select the size to 18 or 16. We can just sample and try. The weight of the font is how thick it is. So if we went to 18, it's going to make it quite bulky. If we go to 300, it's going to make it quite thin. So now with the thinness, it's getting quite like an Apple type of font there, isn't it? So that's on 500, on 300. What are we looking on here? So we have got a bit of thickness. So 400, that looks about right, I reckon. Are we getting to that size? Maybe it is around 16. And then how are we looking as well? So we are quite far across. It's quite spread out, isn't it? So let's see in here, is there anything like padding? So we've got vertical padding if you wanted to add that, or you've got horizontal padding that you could add, and the horizontal padding is then going to spread it all out across. So there we go. Now, so we've got our logos and the fonts. As you can see, we've also then got the hover animation. So when we hover, there's a line, which that line is called a pointer width. Well, it's called a pointer. So, but for me, I'm just going to make it 0 because I don't want the line. So rather than just making it a different color or anything like that, which you'd be able to do in here, I'm just going to say 0, and it's going to 0 it out for me. However, this is going green on mine, but we don't want a green, we want it to go white. So I'm sure I did get the text color, did I? So we're going to go back. We've got Apple logo type. Perfect. All right, so let's grab that then. We're going to go back. We're going to go to text color. We'll paste that into there. So we've got the nice white now. So then we can say text color. Press enter. And from there then we want it to go into a white. So we're going to go to hover. And then the hover, is there a white already here? No. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add one. So I'm going to drag this to the top, FFFFF. And then I'm going to add that color. So add, and I'm going to go for, shall we call it pure white. Add that. Pointer color as well. That doesn't matter. We can clear that, to be honest, because we're not going to need that because there's no pointer. If you remember earlier, we made it 0. So when we hover, now we've got a nice animation over the top, just like Apple do. And then I'm also wanting to just see from here what the width is between that. It's saying it's 20. Is that 20? 74-ish. 75 in between there. So but I don't know if that's 75 pixels, and with the horizontal panning it's not really telling me if it's pixels or percentage or anything like that. So there we go, we've got our basic navbar, which looks pretty cool if I may say so myself. So there we go. Also, as you can see, in between these lines here, we've got some padding. Now, what padding is on the inside, and we've got margin on the outside. So normally I just go 0, 0, and then also on the inside for the actual column itself. And it's letting me know, you can right click, and I said I know. I'm going to go 0 there and 0 there as well. So then now, this should near enough look the same. Perfect. So there we go. That is how you make your navbar. And in the next tutorial, I'm going to go through and just designing the Apple page with all these different elements, and just talk you through how I would design these different elements. And then as a bonus tutorial at the end, we're going to add as you can see, we've got the iPhone and things like that, but I want to add some accessories. So in the bottom section here, I'm going to make some cards that can hover with 3D animation on the mouse and things like that. And that's going to be in the bonus tutorial, so look forward to that. But I'll see you in the next tutorial where I'm going to go through and design all of the page. Just publish the page and go to add condition. even though you're not publishing the page, sorry, we want to it's asking where we want our navbar to be, so we're just going to say on the entire site. Save and close that, and then now we can view it on the live site, and we have our navbar. So when we should click on Mac, it should bring Mac, iPad, iPhone, watch, and there we go, and then it's going to take us back to our home page. It's been great to have you here, and let's catch up on the next tutorial.